Today I will explain what our winter weather pattern possibly will look like. As you already know, it's the El Nino year. However, we have started the fall looking more like a La Nina pattern. What does that mean? That means that it's usually warm in the east but cool in the west. However, as we go into the third week of November, which is basically Thanksgiving week, the GFS and European model are hinting at a major change in our weather pattern. We're talking about a high pressure system centered over the northwest Pacific Northwest, while all the moisture starts to come in from the southern branch of the jet stream through the southern parts of the Pacific, of the Southwest Pacific. What that means is that our southern jet stream will now become more amplified, but however, with a Pacific Northwest ridge, that means that our northern branch will now dip in the eastern parts of the country, and the subtropical branch would now actually phase or merge together to actually make coastal storms happen. Because this year we're actually predicting above average activity of coastal storms, or nor'easters, if you will, as we call them here in the northeast of the United States. So this pattern change will entail winter weather like patterns. In other words, more winter like weather. The Arctic oscillation right now reads as positive, but is expected to turn negative over the next few days. Not during this week or the beginning of next week, but after the beginning of next week. I say about the end of next week, it starts to trend more negative, and the same thing goes for the NAO, allowing for the cooler air to actually infiltrate and allowing for more blocking to occur, thus increasing the chance for snow. Right now, all the snow's been locked up to the west, but that's because we're more stuck in a La Nina pattern. And a Siberian snow cover has been in an increase, in a massive increase. They just actually had 4 or 5 days ago, they had the biggest blizzard on record of the century, actually. And that actually took their snow covers from below average to above average exponentially. That is also going to affect the way we actually predicted our warm winter weather outlook we were originally thinking of for the Northeast. Mostly likely will not happen now. Most likely having a greater than 33% chance of a warm winter. Looks like a less than 32% chance of a warm winter. Now, as for those of you who wanted to know, um, the MJO is actually a convection of thunderstorms that actually, it travels around the globe very quickly. Every week is positioned differently around the globe, just like my hands are doing right now, just like that, very quickly it travels. So the MJO is expected to weaken in the Indian Ocean this week, and that's actually going to cause warm weather to actually return back to the northeast, but it's going to re-strengthen again. When it does, it's going to be by the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to also, in response, cause the NAO to become negative, kind of sort of like agitating the jet stream, and that's actually going to play a big role in our winter weather as well this year, because the MJO usually disappears at this time of year, but it seems it's going to hold together through this winter. Um, so the current strength of El Nino updates are and will be available every Monday at the beginning of each week. So currently El Nino conditions read in the 3.4 region of El Nino. It currently reads at 2.8 degrees Celsius. By midweek November, gradual weakening will occur or is expected, as shown by the ensemble models of the GFS and European model, as they show gradual weakening of the El Nino by the end of November, going into the beginning of December, and through the west of the winter. Now, what does that mean? That means that it now 2.8 degrees Celsius. It has tied the strength of 97, 98 El Nino. Expected to actually re-strengthen again by Thursday of this week and actually surpass the record height of the El Nino 97, 98. Now, the past few winters, we have had 24 winters, right? Out of the 24 winters, only 18 of them were warm. If you think about it, those years were La Nina years. I've taken the luxury, actually, yes, the luxury of going back at the New York City records or Northeast records, and I checked what were our warmest winters. Our warmest winters seem to be La Nina years, as opposed to El Nino year. We have either ice storms or snowstorms that just came out of the blue and just buried the city in snow, or just pretty much took the power away from the city in the form of ice. So basically, this paints the clear picture that for some reason, when there's a strong El Nino, the NAO tends to become negative. The reason right now is unknown, but the PEO is going to become positive in the west, allowing for the warmer air to return to the west. So if you're thinking that the snow's going to last probably till the entire year, it's not really going to return back to that typical ridge in the west, dip in the jet stream in the east, and the snow will be on the increase once it gets to December. For now, we have one more warm week to go through in the northeast, with the exception of that one day, Saturday, which is going to be 49 degrees during the day and 40 at night, 38 if you live in the Bronx, because you're slightly north. Of course, that's gonna be like the only winter-like day. But after that's gonna go back up to the 60s, and also we're gonna have a very active pattern, a progressive pattern where we have a lot of low pressure systems coming out of the west, and they're gonna eat away at the high pressure system, and that's actually gonna be another cause why we're gonna start getting into cold weather after that pattern tends to clear out. So to me, it makes me very happy because I'm a snow lover. So that means we get to, the sooner we eat out at this high, the better the chances of snow, of course, off the East Coast, coastal areas of the region. Because right now we're expecting above average precip for the coastal regions of the Northeast. And the only way that you can have a coastal storm in the Northeast is if you have that dip in the jet stream from the northern branch, and you have that subtropical jet just coming off right off the coast. That's the only way that I see it happening. Otherwise than that, it's just going to be a cross progressive pattern. But this progressive pattern basically entails there's going to be a pattern change coming over the next few weeks, and the cold will now be centered more from the Midwest to the Northeast. So if you enjoy snow in the West, enjoy it now, because chances are that once you get to the full start of an El Nino pattern, you start to feel more warmer than you usually did at the start of the fall. So thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video, I'll actually explain how does the AO, NAO, and Siberian snow cover affect the Northeast winter weather outlooks. Thank you very much, and stay safe.